What's up, YouTube? Team Dreadnaught here. We missed our June discussion because we couldn't find a topic to bitch enough on.
No, we did one. You had to do without me and couldn't do it for some reason.
Because Dark Lord keeps us on track.
17's got a lot to bitch about, but we're gonna wait to do that one a little bit.
Oh yeah, you're getting a nice special surprise come August. Anyways,
yeah, shit, my
happy God, fuck
Come back.
Alright, anyways, we're gonna be discussing BT16 and everything else that's in it going on.
For sure.
Yada yada yada. Spencer's looking up the set right now. I hope so.
For sure.
The reason for the female cards of the avatars are, in...
It's Minerva Day!
In celebration of us getting like 6 fucking Minerva mats.
Minerva
And me
Day.
almost finishing my Minerva deck.
We,
Minerva's on Minerva's.
we decided to do our favorite female card. Spencer, Brandon, Mike, and myself.
You can guess why I like this card so much. I'll go ahead and give you an internet cookie.
Internet cooking?
No one cares.
I know it. Can I still?
We all know it. We all know why.
Is it because she's a blue-haired Asuna?
Actually, it's silver hair.
You know me, no say my feng shui certified.
Let's go.
Alright, Spencer, you're better at talking than I am. Take it away.
Alright, y'all, so we're doing
They never got done one day, doing up the damn BT16.
Alright, May 16, 2014 is when BT16, Legion of Dragons and Blades came out in Japan. That's now almost 2 months ago from this day.
Isn't that awesome? It's almost 2 months.
We are scheduled to get this set somewhere late October, early to mid November, I believe. So this is BT16 start of season 4 for the anime and start of a new mechanic called Legion, which its skill is it's printed on the card specifically that has the Legionnaire ability.
Right around that area.
Yeah, you'll have also a little symbol down here that connects to a grade 2 or grade 3, so as of right now they have things on the other side which will become its Legion mate. It's an effect where if your opponent's on a grade 3 Vanguard, you can choose exactly four cards in your drop zone. You have to have exactly, or at most, you have to have 4 to return. You pick 4 cards.
Normal or trigger unit.
Yeah, you pick 4 cards maximum from your drop zone, shuffle them back in your deck, then search your deck for the Legion mate, which it has printed on the Legionnaire card, and then call it basically next to it. And they both reside on Vanguards. Both their names can be used for effects. Their powers added when they attack. There's still only 1 attack, and criticals are not added together. But yeah, it's a whole new mechanic. It's a whole new way of doing things. They're not limit breaks, so they're not dependent on damage. But they do hit a lot more for the early game, and their effects are definitely to show that they're for the early game. Because a lot of them don't do anything the first couple turns, but then in the late game, they're just retarded.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that begins that. The clans that were supported in this set were Royal Paladins, Narukami, Nova Grappler, Dimensional Police, Spike Brothers, and Neo Nectar.
Woo! Nothing for me.
Why am I here?
It also released.
Why am I here?
I don't know. It also released a brand new foiling pattern. It also released a brand new foiling pattern called Legion Rare, which is similar to Buddy Rare in Cardfight Buddy Fight, which is by the same place. But instead of the entire card being straight gold with the text boxes being normal, around the edges it has like a little design motif around the edges that's just straight gold.
Yeah,
and then everything
on the
and then-
shield, the black part.
Yeah, and then all the main part is all outlined in gold. So it's neat. It still looks cool, very shiny, but not nearly as stupid as the Buddy Fight and the
The
Buddy
thing about
Rares.
the Legion rares, they come only 1 per case, but at the same time, when you pull the Legion rare, you will pull both the Legion and the Legion mate in the same pack.
A pack will contain both Legion Rare things, and it only replaces a rare.
This is undetermined on how this will work for draft. Like, if you pull it, you get to keep both. It's still undetermined.
You better
so we'll
fucking
figure it
keep
out.
both.
Well,
Yeah.
no,
Replace
you
your
better
trigger
be
rare.
able to.
They'll
But I
probably
mean,
tell you to take both.
Yeah.
Or you put that pack aside.
Well,
and have
it
another
does
pack.
take place a trigger and a rare.
Yeah.
So the 2 things you do take. But the problem is you have to have a certain number of
Alrighty, so at that point, we're going to talk about the triple rares first in order as I have them on the card list. So number 001, we have Seeker, Sing, Saber, Dragon.
things there.
Thing Saber. They have it on Sing here, but it can be either or, Thing or Sing. And we'll let our Royal Paladin player talk about them.
Don't you usually read the effect?
That's my dragon! That
Yeah,
should be mine!
I usually read the effect.
Okay, Sing Saber Legions with Blaster Blade Seeker,
Goes in the trial deck and the pack.
which is a double rare in this set also, so we might as well just talk about it as well. Blaster Blade Seeker's effect is when it's placed on rear guard. If you have a Vanguard with Seeker in its name, you can counterblast 1, destroy a grade 2 or higher rear guard on your opponent's side of the field. And what Thing Saber's ability is,
He's my avatar.
when he attacks the Vanguard at the end of the battle, you can Counterblast 2, Soul Blast 3, and then discard 2 cards from your hand. And search your deck for a card named Thing Saber Dragon, or as long as this card is also in Legion. You have to be in Legion to do this.
Most effects you do have to be in Legion
Yeah.
first, so you'll be hearing that a lot.
When it attacks the Vanguard, you can pay the cost at the end of the battle. You can search your deck for a card called Thing Saber Dragon, write it on Vanguard as stand, then search your soul for a Blaster Blade Seeker and Legion it.
Soul. I know he said soul, but keep that in mind, it is soul.
Yeah, from your soul, and allows you to attack again. And you can also do it again. There's not a once per turn clause on it. If you can pay the cost again, you can do it again. And again and again and again and again. That's what made this card pretty powerful. So it made this card pretty powerful. One thing to note though, when you ride it and re-Legion, your next turn you still can't activate that Thing Saber's Legion ability of just returning 4 cards from your drop back into the deck, which is very important because you want to keep cycling back Thing Saber Dragons into the deck.
/ critters.
And crits and heals and the like.
Very powerful skill.
It's very powerful, and its other ability is whenever.
Especially for out of the gate.
And its other ability is it doesn't need to be in Legion for this one, but it's when it attacks the Vanguard, it gains plus 2,000.
Yeah. Or it's when you have a unit in the center column.
Yeah, they either have attack and Vanguard unit in the same column, the same plan.
When I first saw this card, I hated it.
Yeah, so whenever it attacks the Vanguard, it gets power plus 2,000 at the end of turn. So basically, by itself, it's a 22 because it's an 11, then the plus 9 for Blaster Blade, and then plus 2 for the other effect. So it's a 22 by itself, so it's always going to need a 20k shield for a 2-pass, depending on if you're cross-ridden or not.
I hated it. All I wanted was a re-standard.
This was definitely one of the most, like, I'm not going to say underrated. A lot of people just thought it wasn't as good as it was. Like, it had a heavy cost.
It's really what the deck does for it. Winglow's free call, while also when you ride another Thing Saber, gaining you 2 of your soul to activate Thing Saber's skill.
Yeah, it just went bonkers.
It was all the Seeker support, Margot's effect, being able to give 3k while putting in soul, or losing your draw trigger.
Yeah, it went bonkers.
It's really one of the things that makes the deck use a good ice game.
Then we have the next unit on the list, which is Honest Seeker Egbert.
Something we can just skip over. Something we can just skip over.
Who thing?
Egbert.
Or Egbert. Nah, Egbert, probably the worst triple rare of the set, by far.
You thought there was a triple rare? Yep.
Yeah. Or would you say he's worse than Emerald Blaze?
Yes.
I'm leaving. That dude shouldn't be a triple rare.
That quick.
Well, of course he's a triple. Oh no, he's a triple rare, so the gold powder 1 to 17 can be a double.
Opposite.
Yeah.
And be better.
No, it's worse.
Well, the gold powder one? No, it's better. It's a 28 2 crit. Egbert's a 27 2 crit.
No, he doesn't get plus power when attacking. He has an ability to call on him.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Read Egbert.
Egbert? Egbert's a 27 2 crit.
Oh, no.
Huh?
I don't think so.
Yeah, he is. He's a 20 who gains plus 2 when he attacks. And then his Legion effect is a plus 1. Okay, whatever. Egbert is the other Royal Paladin Legion. He Legions with
The
Romance Seeker Cedric?
Yeah, 12k
Is
attacker
his
for
name?
Seekers.
Who's just the 12k attacker for Seekers.
Yeah, that's all he is. 9k gains 3 because the Secret Banger when it attacks.
Egbert's skill is, during your turn, you can counterblast 2 cards with Seeker in their name. If you have 4 or more
Seekers.
If you have 4 or more Seekers on your field, he gains plus 5,000 and a crit, making him, with his Legion, a 25 2 crit. And his other effect is, whenever he attacks the Vanguard, he gains power plus 2,000.
You sure?
Yes. So he's a 27,000 2 crit.
Keep in mind, for his ability, both the Vanguards count as 2 units, so
Yeah.
you need to have 2 others.
This guy's bad. It's just not as good as Wingle. He eats up counterblast that Sing Saber wants. Just not good at all.
Not at
Dr.
all.
on Twitter.
Huh?
You follow Dr. on Twitter.
I do not.
I don't have Twitter.
You follow Dr. on Twitter.
The next card
I
on
have Twitter also.
the next card on the list is Brawler Big Bang Knuckle Dragon. Next card on the list is Brawler Big Bang Knuckle Dragon. Murakami. When this set first came out, I said this card was bad. I'm still kind of right.
What? Big Big Knuckle?
Yeah.
The only reason I find him good is destroying a front row, like,
I'm-
cheaper than Vermilion, is still pretty devastating.
I'm still kind of right, but
Eh.
I'm also kind of wrong because his cross ride's ridiculous.
Well, he's pretty powerful, like that cheap and be able to. There's reasonability, and then we'll discuss it.
It's just because it's Vermilion proved that attacking the front row just doesn't do enough anymore.
Well, yeah, but the problem is he only had 3, so you only do like once a game.
But even at this cheap though, this doesn't do nothing. This doesn't
With
do
arts and
enough.
stuff, it does do a bit.
Your back row is so much more important now.
Well, yeah, obviously. Our reasonability, we'll discuss it.
Why you gonna play fucking clone?
Like almost all the grade 2s now just have things that happen when you play them, and after that they're just vanillas, they can die. But anyway, Brawler Big Bang Knuckle is basically the successor to Dragonic Kaiser Vermilion. His effect is while he's in Legion, and he legions with a card called Big Bang Slash Dragon.
We don't talk about moving.
Big Bang Slash Dragon's effect is when one of your Brawler Vanguards attacks hits, he gains plus 3,000 to the end of the battle, or end of the turn. So, which matched up with Big Bang Knuckle because he's basically just Vermilion, except he's counterblast 2 cards with Brawler in their name. He gains plus 5,000. He attacks the entire front row.
So that means your Vanguard, if you let the Vanguard hit, it essentially hits 3 things. So slash and rear gets power.
Yep.
He's good now.
Yeah, obviously.
Like he's okay. It's just like the problem is that the other ones are just way better.
Yeah, with that too.
And his other effect is you can Soul Blast 1, and this unit gains power plus 3,000. So he can basically do 28 to the whole front row by himself.
Team Dreadnaught's not taking on Twitter.
Do it.
So the 28 on. Like I like him just because I like Vermilion. Vermilion was always one of my favorite cards. Like I'll try and play him, but it's like he's just not as good as Shotgun or Wild Rush, which is the problem.
But luckily, again, the sweet cross ride next set. What should we talk about next set?
Yeah, the cross ride, however, this guy,
13 seconds on 20.
yeah, the cross ride for this guy just takes him through the roof.
Which is why it's gonna be expensive.
They gave him a better effect and then even lowered the price on it, or lowered the cost.
Yeah.
Commit is so much stronger.
Alright, well, let's continue.
And then next up we have Brawler Wild Rush Dragon. This legion's with Wild Fish Dragon, which is the 12k attacker for Brawlers. Now Wild Rush's effect is, or ability, while he's in Legion, whenever he drive checks a card that shares a name with the same name as something on Vanguard, which means other Wild Rush and Wild Fish Dragons, you can counterblast 1 and he gains plus 10,000 1 crit. This is very relevant and very powerful because now you have to play a funny game with your opponent of whether or not they want to respect you potentially drive checking one of these if they don't have a perfect card in their hand.
It's like Die Kaiser. You're wasting a lot of shield for your opponent's hand for the chance.
Yeah, like it's already going to attack you for 20. It's because of the Legion.
Yeah.
And with a booster, you're attacking for even more, and then it just gets stupid.
At 3 damage, if you hit a crit one of him, you basically double crit your opponent.
Yeah, it's when they're at 4, the last thing they want to do is face this card because now they have to be. You can't 2-pass it because drive checking one of them immediately breaks the 2-pass, and it gets an extra crit on it.
I still think this card is kind of retarded.
It's very powerful. It's just inconsistent because you only have 6 shots to do anything. And it's Legion Mate's a 12k attacker, so you like, yeah.
At least you want to play that.
And it's strong. And its other effect is actually pretty good too. Like I said, this is one of the reasons this card is actually pretty strong because it can feed other legions, along with just being a very relevant ability. His other effect is that whenever his attack hits, the Vanguard, you can choose one of your rear guards and retire it. For your opponent to choose one of their rear guards and retire it. So you can basically do this to power up some of the effects that Narukami has of whenever one of your opponent's rear guards is put into the drop, they gain plus 3,000 just to boost up more abilities.
Yeah.
There's a stand trigger that we'll get to later that can absolutely make your opponent really fight what exactly they want to retire.
Yeah.
Because now there's a possibility they could just get completely blown out.
You know, real pretty about this map, that red. I think I'll stay in the other 2 of the red. Alright, let's do it.
Alright,
Sorry,
so that's
guys.
Wild Rush. Alright, the next one on our list is going to be for Mr. Brandon.
Sorry, I was sitting on Twitter.
I know. Even though it's not Deep Police, it's another clan that you might want to pick up. Or is this going to be Mike again? I'm not sure.
Riser?
Up next is Ultimate Riser. Ultimate Riser Mega Flare. First off, his Legion is Ultimate Riser Dual Flare, which I'm bringing up to the effect now because I have no idea what this guy does.
Good enough.
Are we going to go through all 102 cards?
What?
No, we're just gonna go through the major cards. We'll stop at the double rares.
But there's rares that are good.
Main sets are hard to discuss.
Yeah. Alright, so Dual Flare is the Legion mate for Mega Flare. His effect is during the turn of your Vanguard perform Legion, whenever your Vanguard attacks, you can stand this unit and he gets power plus 5,000.
You can only do it once.
We can only do it once during that turn, so that's actually pretty strong by itself. But what Mega Flare does,
What Mega Flare?
It's really lackluster. This is one certain little kitty. That makes it so broken.
it's just, you know.
I'll explain.
There has to be this thing that exists
I'll
that no
explain
one
once
thought
you
was going to
finish.
be broken that immediately became broken.
I did.
Shush.
I did, dude.
All right.
I pulled
Mega
it
Flare's
out,
effect. Mega Flare's effect is whenever he attacks the Vanguard, if he's in Legion, and the number of rested units you have is 4 or more, which counts your Vanguard and the Legion mate. So that's if it attacks, there's 2 units right there.
You have unit boosting, and then you have another column that's rested. That's your.
Yeah, 4 rested is real easy to achieve because of Legion.
15, 25.
But when you do that, he gets critical +1.
15, 25, 25, 5 minutes.
When you do that, though, he gets critical +1. That's it. That's all his effect is. If you have 4 more rested units, if he attacks, he gets 2 critical.
All right, so pretty much its effect by itself is extremely lackluster. It really does nothing.
It's pretty powerful.
But there's one little card, a little kitty that
Called Cat Butler.
called Cat Butler. That if your Vanguard doesn't hit, you can retire it and stand your Grade 2 Nova Grappler Vanguard. The thing about Legion is when you stand the Grade 2, it forces the Grade 3 to stand. So if your Vanguard doesn't hit, you retire Cat Butler, you stand again and attack, swing for another 2 crit.
So you once again have a 20,000 K Vanguard, not counting triggers you might have checked the last turn.
And the non-Legion ability, whenever he hits a Vanguard, you can stand a unit.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Pretty much when it comes down to this card.
That's the power.
I'd rather let it hit.
I knew that card would be
But if you let it
powerful.
hit, then it's too critical. That's the thing. It's like it really screws you over.
It's damned if you do, damned if you don't.
It's why this deck in Japan is. This is what's fighting Thing Saver for 1 and 2 in the current meta. Not counting the extra boosters, which we'll get to in a later video, because there's a deck in there that is definitely challenging the 2 powers at will. But Cat Butler with Mega Flare is definitely showing Thing Saver Dragon that it can absolutely be a force to reckon with. It's really hard to play against. Because again, like I said, you either, if they have Cat Butler, you either not guard their Vanguard and you take a lot of criticals, or you don't and you waste a lot of cards in your hand.
Yep. Sorry, still making it. Here we go.
Yeah.
Twitter.
And then the next one on this list is another broken card in this set
Sin Buster?
that will also be talked about by Mr. Brandon over here.
Whatever.
Because he's actually playing Sin Buster.
Its name is Metal Borg
Broken Buster.
Finbuster.
Sinbuster.
Shinbuster.
All right.
Japanese name, Shin Buster.
You want to talk about his Legion mate before I go?
Please, it makes this nuts.
I have no idea what he does, to be honest with you.
Urbuster.
When any
Hold on,
Vanguard
hold on.
performs Legion,
Hold on,
you give the Vanguard the ability to kill something when it hits and gives it 4K.
It gives it 4K.
Yeah. It gives
Yeah.
it 4,000.
Alright, the Legion mate of this is whenever your Vanguard
Metal
performs
Borg
Legion.
Buster.
Whenever your Urbuster. Whenever your Vanguard performs Legion, choose your Vanguard. So at the end of the turn, that unit gets plus 4,000. So now you have a 24 Vanguard.
Off the bat, yeah.
And he gets the power. Whenever this unit hits the Vanguard, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it.
Now,
Still broken.
Know with the release of Fighters Collection 2014, everything like dissed lore. There's no lore, and now in 16, nothing requires a certain Vanguard or just a certain thing. So this dude can be used in.
No, it can't because they made sure you can't play other cards.
Yeah.
Japan made it a
Well, yeah, I know.
to make it a point that cross clans
I meant-
couldn't happen, so you couldn't put Starlusses and Perdition Dragons.
Well, I meant just to be stupid. If you want to play with your friends and shit,
Yeah.
you can. This dude's ridiculous in Thing Saver.
All right.
And other self.
So anyway, Metal Borg Sinbuster. There's a reason why this thing is broken. It's because Bushiroad doesn't know how to word cards properly. So first off, his effect is when this card attacks a Vanguard, if this unit is in Legion, and this unit's power is 30,000 or greater, until the end of that battle, your opponent cannot call grade 1 or greater units to Guardian Circle from his or her hand. It doesn't prevent you from intercepting, you can still intercept. But you can only guard with grade 0, is basically as effect is, as long as he attacks with 30,000 or greater. Now here's the problem with this. You're probably thinking this is like You're probably thinking this is like the Die Kaiser things, in which it has to be when the battle phase starts. No!
It's a boost.
If the 10K, if you boost this thing and it becomes a 30,000, this monster kills you.
Take it away, Brandon.
So that's pretty much said everything.
That
If
die
you-
guys are no.
So explain why Commander Laurel's busted with this
Can I
motherfucker.
fucking talk?
Right now, why is Commander Laurel busted with this guy? Why is Commander Laurel now a $15 double rare in Japan?
Because if you boost it with a card Metal Borg Black Doctor, he's their Legion 10k booster. By itself, the Legion is 20k plus the 10k from Black Doctor. It becomes a 30k on attack.
And you can't perfect guard it.
You can't perfect guard it. It activates the ability where you can't, guard with grade 1s or greater. If you don't guard it and it hits, whatchamacallit,
This thing's flavor text should be must be nice.
if you don't guard it and it hits, If you don't guard it and it hits, Laurel's ability activates. What Laurel's ability is, you can rest 4 Dimension Police rear guards, stand your Vanguard. So pretty much you're getting a second attack. And it has a secondary ability. Whenever its power is 20,000 or greater, so even if it's in Legion, while it's in Legion and it attacks, whenever its power is 20,000 or greater and it hits, draw a card. Also with the ability of Urbuster, against 4,000 power during the turn performed Legion, it gets 4,000 power, and every time it hits, it can retire a unit. So if you let it hit once, I'm retiring a unit, drawing a card, standing up, then attacking again. If you let it hit twice, I'm retiring a unit, drawing a card. So it's a very devastating card and a very devastating deck if played properly. It requires a lot of setup, but like I said,
Which is the sole reason why as broken as this card is, it's not really doing much in Japan. It's trying hard.
But if used properly, it's set up properly, this card is arguably one of the better ones, best ones in the
And our
set.
own
It's
little
because-
Brandon.
It's because Thing is autopilot and Rise just have Cap on there.
Our own little Brandon is like the king of setup decks.
Playing
Playing Aqua Force on the release. Alright,
Playing
next.
Aqua Force, you learn how to set shit up.
Yeah. I have to keep it there.
That's our man Shang. You play bad decks, you learn how to play good with bad decks. That's kind of what he does.
Yep.
Shang
We
is
love you, Shang. I know you're going to watch this.
Alright, next up is really a card we can skip, and that's Emerald Blaze. Not so much because he's bad like Egbert, but because he's bad because Break Red. Emerald
It's
Blaze.
a double rare Legion's infinitely better.
Emerald Blaze with Bushy attempt to give us cool Legion abilities like Doubly Emperor, but they failed miserably. So first off, Emerald Blade's Legion's with a guy called Silver Blaze. He's high-speed Bracky on crack. What Silver Blaze's effect is, whenever he attacks, if your Vanguard is in Legion, you can Soul Blast 1, it gains plus 10,000 power until the end of that battle, and at the end of that battle, he goes to the bottom of the deck. So he's basically just a double high-speed Bracky that your opponent, or your Vanguard has to be in Legion. So he's a 19k by himself. And what Emerald Blaze is like I said, he's sort of like Dudley Emperor, but they for some reason made it cost even more. Because we know Dudley Emperor was Counterblast 2, put 2 cards in your hand and your soul. This guy is Counterblast 3 and Persona Soul Charge.
Now, is that anything on the Vanguard circle or him?
Right. Soul Charging an Emerald or a Silver Blaze and Counterblasting 3, you get, as long as he's in Legion, you get a Dudley Emperor effect. You can search your deck for 2 cards and call them. Why?
20k attack?
Why is it more expensive than Dudley Emperor?
I don't know!
If it wasn't more, if it was still Counterblast 2, this guy would be the nut butters in.
Here you go, Spencer.
So let me tell you something right now, dude. I'm being real serious here. Why does this cost more than Dudley Emperor, Bushy?
Bushy, you're watching this.
Bushy, I know you're watching this.
I have emailed you 6 times about Emerald Blaze, but I'm waiting for an answer.
Why does it cost more? Like, do you really think Persona Soul Charge equals discard 1?
Yes.
Does Persona Soul Charge equal a Counterblast 1?
No.
Maybe. Shut the fuck up!
How do you feel about this dude in Break Ride?
He's still not good. The other one trumps him, which we'll get to later.
Well, I mean, just a thing. Like,
No, because it costs too much.
I'm sorry.
Because we know what Frozen Ogre doesn't matter anymore.
Frozen Ogre also kind of lost.
Frozen Ogre should have been a Soul Blast. And not only that, you read all the other effects that other Vanguards have for their bottom abilities, all these broken things. Emerald Blaze is Soul Blast 2, he gains plus 2,000.
What?
Yes. His other effect is, when he's on Vanguard, this unit, you can Soul Blast 2, he gains plus 2,000. Now you can do this over and over again, but Soul is very important in Spike Brothers because it makes your things go off.
Wow.
This card's just bad all around. It just costs way too
I
much.
didn't even know. I'm sorry.
It just costs too much. Counterblast 3 is...
It's the son you never wanted.
If this was just Counterblast 2, it's almost like a catapult.
Yeah.
Because instead of discarding one, you have to put one. But at least you have other Silver Blazes. If it was still Counterblast 2, I say it would be playable. Because
Why would you want to put a Silver Blaze?
because Spike Brothers do have more draw triggers. Finally, they do have a second draw trigger now to allow you to find more Emerald Blazes to put it in Soul. What?
Get a clan getting a draw trigger that goes into the soul and flip it.
Gotta be Starbearer.
Really? Yeah, probably.
That's the first thing Cuban.
Yeah, so that's Emerald Blaze. It's just not good.
No.
And then the last triple rare of the set, which once again is Brandon.
I thought.
Brandon.
Nah, you know, Musketeer.
Last triple rare we have Ponye, Musketeer, Martina.
Martina.
Now, what you don't know, her Legion mate is Pony Musketeer Thule. Thule. Her effect is that when your Vanguard,
When it's placed on rear.
when it's placed on rear guard, if your Vanguard is in Legion,
kill a musketeer. Check
you
out
can
four calls.
right, you can kill or retire one of your Musketeer rear guards. Search the top 4.
Top 4 call musketeers.
Search the top 4 for a card with Musketeer in its name. Call it. The others go and sit back on top of the deck and you shuffle. So basically, it's the exact same card as Musketeer Kaivon.
Kaivon and Ruth.
Kaivon,
No,
but
no,
it does
Kaivon.
not have a counterblast. It just requires your Vanguard to be in Legion.
Isn't that nifty?
And then you have the actual Legion.
Very, very, very strong ability. Actually, Thule is it's
Thule's
very
one of the
powerful.
better cards, but the Legion is kind of bad.
Legion's not terrible. It's just Vera just.
It's not triple rare.
It's
It's because Vera
Vera
has
should have been the
Sicilian-
triple. Vera
It's because Vera has Sicilian's ability. That's why.
Yeah. Pretty
Alright.
much it's let me know.
All right, tell us what Pony Musketeer Martini's ability is, my good sir.
Counterblast 1. Choose 5 normal units of musketeer in the name. Send them to the top. Send them to the bottom of the deck. Check the top 4. Call 2 units of musketeer in their name. Shuffle your deck.
It's basically a fixed version of Cecilia's limit break ability.
Oh yeah.
What?
It's basically
She's not good.
it's basically a fixed version of Cecilia's limit break ability. Instead of calling 2 versions of herself, you just check the top 4 to call 2. And the reason why it's not as good as Cecilia is because you can brick. You are checking just the
Yeah.
top 4, not 5, so you have less of a chance to find which. I think it's top 4. Top 4. So you do have more chances to brick, and you have to pick 2 units to get max value.
Yeah.
And you could just find things you might not want.
Yeah, you could find triggers or anything, but through playtesting, a lot of times I found Fool in the top, which sets off a lot of chain reactions. I've used 5 counterblast in one single column once.
Jesus Christ.
It was bragging. I kept using the
happens.
stand trigger, sending the stand trigger back, called a Fool, retired something, called another Fool,
Only-
called another stand trigger, sent it back. I just used 5 counterblasts in one call
Yeah.
to that one match, and I was playing in Spencer,
Sweet Collins.
and it
I
won
had
me
to
that
do
match.
this that game, dude.
It won me that match because I just thinned so much shit out of
I was
it.
playing terrible BT16 brawlers, dude. It was god
I was
awful.
playing BT16. You were playing Spike Brothers.
Actually, I was misplaying Hearts. I had no idea what I was doing.
Alright, next card.
And Martina's last ability, just to make sure Emerald Blaze is shown just how bad he is. Her effect is whenever she attacks the Vanguard, if you have another unit in the center column, she gains plus 3,000 at the end of the battle. Now, when it says unit in the center column, that includes if you have the Legion mate. If you don't have a booster but you're in Legion, you will get the plus 3.
So you attack.
Vanguard, great.
No.
Oh my god.
So that would be all the triple rares. If we had to rate them, the worst would probably be
Emerald
a
Blaze.
tie between Egbert and Emerald Blaze.
Yeah.
Just because they're completely unplayable. After that, I probably want to say Big Bang. Not because he's not good, but because in this set it's not playable because Shotgun Blow and Wild Rush do similar things but way more efficiently.
Yeah.
And then it would be Martina. I mean, she doesn't see much play, but they still play her though, because, not because she's bad, but because
Come on,
they just want max value out of their Musketeer units, so they just overload with 1s and 2s.
Come on, Japan. I see your death list. Just 4 Vera. Just 4. Only 4 grade 3s.
Sometimes Mega Flare just plays 4 Mega Flare.
I know.
Then after that, after those 4, it's just kind of by default.
How do you do it, Japan?
After that, it's just kind of by default, and then
can't
after
do that. We can't do that.
after Martina, it's Wild Rush. Then it would be Sin Buster, Mega Flare, and then Sing Saber.
Yep.
The most great lot. A lot.
I still say Sin Buster is the best Legion out of the set.
Yeah.
But when it comes to playable decks, Sing and Mega Flare just completely blow Sin Buster out. The Sin Buster needs just too much setup sometimes to really go off.
Setup.
Don't you love setup, Brandon?
Yeah. And then after that, we go to the
Can't get
grade.
enough of it.
After that, we go to the double rares. Some of them we've already gone over, like Blaster Blade Seeker, which is the first one. We've already gone over that. Legion Mate for Sing Saber Dragon. And it's basically just the rearguard ability of the original Blaster Blade
Wasn't
from
Big
set
Bang
1.
Slash double rare?
Yeah, I already went over him also.
That card should not be a double rare.
But Buster wasn't.
No, but Slash Busters are rare. Go figure. Howard. It's
Hey,
their
Starless is a fucking rare.
It's their only rare though. Neurakami is like apparently Neurakami and Royal Paladin in set 17. They're gonna be the ones like Angel Feather in set 9. They only get like 6 or you only get like 5 or 6 cards.
Hey, Starless is a rare. I mean, it's broken.
Time.
Yeah. All right, but of the double rares, first off is Blaster Blade Seeker, like I said. Next is Guardian Law Seeker Sharon, or Sharon.
Oh, it's the perfect shield.
Yeah, this is just a perfect shield for Seekers.
No, not
Yeah,
for
noteworthy.
Seekers.
It's now choose a unit that's being attacked and discard a unit from your hand.
Right.
No clan
Perfect shield.
restriction.
Yeah, perfect shields no longer have requirements in that you don't have to discard something of the same clan and you don't have to protect something of the same clan. But again, it doesn't really mean anything because Bushiroad made it very apparent for that in still tournaments you still cannot cross clans. So even though they got rid of the wordings of lore and all these restrictions and everything like that, it doesn't really matter anyway. I think they just did it to have less text on the cards. So this made it to where you just can never play cross clans ever again.
Brandon hates it. It made MLB playable. I'm kidding. It made it better, but
Yeah.
The only decks that
deck
can
with a passion.
the only decks that can still do it are, if I remember correctly, decks that play 2 MLB can play up to 10 Shadow Paladin cards, and Link Joker decks can play as many as they want of cards with reverse in their name.
And that does not.
The backwards reverse. So you cannot play 4 reverse or a Phoenix.
Does that include Rebirth?
Yes, reverse is reverse does count as a reverse unit. All right, then after Sharon is Brawler Big Bang Slash Dragon. I've already gone over him. He's the Legion mate for
Big Bang
Knuckle. His effect is whenever a Brawler Vanguard hits or an attack hits, he gains plus 3,000 at the end of the turn. Then after that is Hardship Brawler Toshu, which is Narukami's Quintet Wall. Once again, doesn't do anything. It just has Brawler in its name. It's the only thing relevant.
Placed on Guardian Circle. Count plus 1. Top 5 cards of your deck going to the Guardian Circle's rest.
Yep. Then after that, we have Phoenix. We have Phoenix Riser Drillwing. This is another Legion for Nova Grappler.
That is never used.
Some decks play just one sometimes.
Japan.
Some just play one. Its Legion mate is Phoenix Riser Wing, Flame Wing, which I have no idea what this card does.
It's 12k attacker. For
Oh, it is a 12k attacker? Okay, so Flame Wing is their 12k attacker for Risers. What Drill Wing's effect is that when this unit attacks a Vanguard, if it's in Legion, you may counterblast 2. If you do, choose up to 2 of your rear guards in the front row that have a unit in the back row is in the same column. And that's pretty broken. And basically, so it's Ethics Buster for counterblast 2. Broken. I'm kidding.
I'm not saying I gave this man the most disgusted face I've ever given.
hey, you're an attack.
That's so much
attack,
better than
counterblast
freaking
2,
Sin Buster.
Capital, stand, attack, counterblast 2, stand.
So it's not bad. I can see why people don't want to play him a lot. They just play 4 Mega Flare because Mega Flare's a staunch.
Extra crit, that's why.
Yeah. And its other effect is whenever it attacks the Vanguard, same unit in the center gets plus 3.
Can we skip over Dryon?
Who's that?
Now, up next is Shield Riser,
Secondary Legion.
which is the...
It's the new Nova Quintal.
Yeah, next up is Shield Riser.
1,000 greater gains crit.
He is the Quintet Wall for Nova Grapplers. He's just a Riser. Cool art, though.
Oh yeah, Shield Risers are fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
Oh, Shield Riser?
Japan's not even playing Perfect Guards in their Riser decks.
I
They're
know.
playing 4 Shields. They don't even care anymore.
Well, did they do it to get the Legion over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get their Legion over.
After that, we have Metalborg Dion.
Can we skip him? He's not good.
Okay.
What's his Legion mate? Is he
Yeah.
Metalborg 12k?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this Legion with the Metalborg 12k attacker, which is called Lion Eater.
Lion Eater.
What Dion's skill is when this unit attacks, if it's in Vanguard, if its power is 30,000 or greater, it gets +1 to the end of the battle. So it's basically
Critical +1.
or critical +1. So it's basically So the big unit of Risers is the secondary boss of Dimensional Police. And his other effect is whenever he attacks, if he has another kind of center column, he gains +3 because Emerald Blaze has to get shown exactly how much of deck he can suck. So after that, we have Metalborg Bryknuckle, which is Dimensional Police's Quintet Wall. Quintet Wall is a Hoya in this one, just like set 14.
I explained it, not explaining it again.
It's a bunch of Quintet Walls and one
It's a
perfect
fucking
guard.
Metal Board can tell. Well, what the fuck do we have to tell you?
Up next is Bloody Ogre. Up next is Bloody Ogre, the Spike Brothers secondary boss, and actually proves to be their better boss.
Really?
Yeah.
Powerful.
Same
Bloody
with
Ogre Legions with a Bloody Ogre Legion with a card called called Frozen Ogre. Frozen Ogre.
Keep going, Frozen Ogre.
Frozen Ogre's ability is whenever it attacks whenever it attacks the Vanguard, I believe. Got the peanut gallery over here.
No attacks the Vanguard.
Frozen Ogre's ability is, I believe, whenever it attacks the Vanguard, at the end of that battle, you can counterblast 1. If you do, retire this unit.
No, send to the soul.
Yes, sir. Send it to the soul. And then search your deck for any card and call it. And that includes calling more Frozen Ogres. This is what kind of makes Spike Brothers now kind of bonkers, because now they have just 1 billion more attacks.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
You going?
Continue. I'm fixing this
Bloody
shit.
Ogre's made.
That's all. That's
Yes.
all I really want.
So
in
Frozen
Spike
Ogre's
Brothers.
Frozen Ogre's really strong because of that. There's no reason to play a lot of the other things.
Yeah.
You play 4 of this guy all the time because one of them has to get eaten up by the Legion. So you want as many of these guys as possible. And it leads you with a guy called Bloody Ogre. Now this is probably still the only meta deck that plays break rides, and it's simply because of what Bloody Ogre does. Bloody Ogre is half of a bad end dragger. The turn that it performs Legion, all your units that are in the front row gain power plus 5,000. And at the end of the battle that they attack anything in, they go to the bottom of the deck. So when you break ride this over Bad End Dragger and then Legion, all your front row units get plus 15.
Bragging.
So if you call a Frozen Ogre, it's a 24. Counterblast 1, find another Frozen Ogre, find another Frozen Ogre, it's once again a 24. This is all unboosted. If you get a Silver Blaze and Soul Blast, it's a 34 unboosted.
Because that's not broken.
Oh, Silver Blaze is pretty stupid.
No, it's
Like,
Frozen. It's stupid.
it's just way more power than what Spike Brothers could originally do when they had just Bad End and Dudley Emperor.
What's the secondary effect? Is that
And what Bloody Ogre's secondary effect is, whenever this unit attacks, you can counterblast 2 and put 1 card in your hand into your soul, to search your deck for 1 unit and call it.
So you need another attack.
Right, so you also get another attack. And usually what you get from this guy is a common in the set that when we talk about, because we don't want to go through commons and everything. It's probably the coolest name and coolest art of the set.
Honorable mentions once you finish the foils.
Yeah, the coolest art and the coolest set. This is an honorable mention for one of the comments. His name is Jumbo the Stun Gun. It's an elephant with football pads on.
Well, explain his effect later.
No, I'll say it right now. This is what you want to get. No, you get Jumbo. When you call Jumbo on the break ride with Legion, he's a 23. His effect is whenever he's called from the deck during the battle phase, you can unflip a damage and soul charge 1. The stuns. He is the stun gun.
He's a good card, that's for sure.
He's very good.
Super good.
Alright, so yeah, he's just amazing. Then after that, we have Baron Amadeus, which is Spike Brothers Quintet Wall.
Don't need to keep explaining this to you people.
Yes. And then we have 2 more double rares. We have 2 more double rares left. The first one is Moth Orchid Musketeer Christie,
Oh,
which is Neo Nectar's Quintet Wall.
Don't need to keep explaining it, damn it!
How many Quintet Walls are in this?
every clan gets Quintet Ball.
What? Except Royal Power, of course.
No, they get one in the next set.
They gotta be babysitted. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Every clan
There's
is in
5 Quintet Walls in this bitch.
There's 5 Quintet
And
Walls.
1 Perfect Guard. How many Quintet Walls are in set 14?
Just keep going for it.
Just keep going forward.
Alright, regardless. And then the last double rare is Licorice Musketeer
Lycoris.
Vera.
2 minutes.
Yeah, we have to explain about it.
Alrighty. Her Legion mate is
Oh, let me explain
Licorice
this.
Musketeer.
Lycoris, not Licorice.
That's Licorice, dude.
I can call it Lycoris. Because I refuse to call it Licorice.
Do you pronounce America
Continue.
Mercia too?
Americinium?
Aluminium? What? You want some profits too, you fucking playing?
Hold on. Good!
Alright, so
Alright.
Licorice Musketeer Vera, her Legion
Taking
mate
the job.
her Legion mate is Licorice Musketeer
Salt.
Saul, and her effect
Salt.
is
When this unit performs Legion, during the turn this unit performs Legion, all your Musketeers gain power plus 3,000. And it has a secondary ability to kill 1 Musketeer. Check this out 5, call a Musketeer.
I said with the Legion mate,
Shuffle the
whatever.
deck. Oh, well, Salt is during the turn your Vanguard performs Legion. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, you pick 3 normal units from your drop zone, put them in the bottom of your deck, and draw her.
Oh yeah, dude, power.
This allows Musketeers more ways to like not deck out because all they want to do is keep fishing through the
It
deck.
gives you draw power at the same time you can fill up your deck.
Perfect. It also puts all the Thools back on the bottom of your deck and then you shuffle and make
And then you
crazy
shuffle.
things happen.
Yeah.
Oh, the power of Musketeer.
Yeah, she's way strong. Now that's all the double rares. Like every clan got at least 2.
Yep.
There's no real, honestly, commons or rares. You can go look at the set. These are the
Yeah.
foils we think are.
So some of the big name rares that come out in this set, you have Crossbow Seeker Gladys, which is
When your Vanguard performs Legion, you may counterblast 1. Search your deck for
kinda
grade
like
1 or
Flames
less
Peoples.
Seekers, and you can call it anywhere.
Thank you! Thanks!
then after that you also have Advanced Party Seeker File.
Oh my god, no, there's nothing worth mentioning about
I'm
this
the
guy. Go.
I know he's bad.
I'm the dick.
For Murakami, you have Brawler Eugene, which was a pretty good card, solid,
Eugene?
but yeah, it's his name.
Eugene.
It's Eugene. Eugene. Y-O-U-J-I-N. Eugene.
Why not Eugene?
Because it's Eugene.
Why?
Because that's how it's pronounced.
I'm done with life!
And Yujin's effect is whenever your Vanguard performs Legion, you can choose one of your opponent's rear guards in the front row and destroy it. So it's pretty sweet. Also, the card that everyone has a big problem with is Tofon Wielder Brawler Arc.
I have no idea what the fuck.
This is Brawler's clone of Steel Blooded Eradicator Shooky. Now, Shooky's effect was whenever one of your opponent's rear guards is put into the drop by one of your card effects, he would gain plus 3,000. This one's effect is during your turn, if one of your opponent's rear guards is put into the drop, it gains plus 3,000, which means
If your Vanguard's in Legion.
if your Vanguard's in Legion, which means if you attack one of their rear guards, he'll gain plus 3. It doesn't have to be retired if it attacks. So if you have cards like Big Bang Knuckle and you attack the front row, if they let all 3 attack hits, or if the attacks hit on the rear guards, the 2 rear guards, he'll gain plus 6 because they are sent from the field to the drop. Now note, if your opponent intercepts, the rear guard enters the drop zone from the Guardian Circle, so it will not get the power.
So we're gonna get 6 alpha.
But yeah, it's just broken. And then
Pretty powerful.
for Nova Grappler, we already talked about Dual Flare and Wing Flare, the Legion Mesa 2, but we also have Tank Riser,
Tank Riser.
which is another very big notable unit in the rare in the set. His effect is
he can't be retired.
he's a 6K grade
7K.
He's a 7K grade 1, whose effect is as long as you have another Riser unit in front of him
in the same column.
or in the same column, he cannot be retired by any of your opponent's card effects. He can still be attacked and retired, but he cannot be retired through card effects.
Yeah, but here's the one thing: if you use something like Tempest Bolt, you blow up the field. Okay, now he has no longer something in front of him. He still dies from Tempest Bolt's effect.
Really nothing.
No. If you wipe out the whole field, he still stays.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because it's a field hitting. Now I'm gonna attack this first, then
So when they
this.
break recognition,
Now,
you
however,
choose those 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a field nuke. Not like I'm gonna select this and then this. I'm gonna get everything in one shot.
Yeah. And then we also have other notable rares. We have Metalborg Black Boy.
No, he's not there.
Black boy.
He's our starter. What he does is if you have Buster on your Vanguard circle, you counterblast 2. Send him, or counterblast 2. Send 4 other dimensional levels.
No, 4.
Send 4 Metalborgs to the soul. Search your deck for a Sin Buster. You ride it, and then you Legion Buster from the soul.
Wait a second. Does that mean that you can put 4 other rear guards? It doesn't take.
Yeah, you don't have to send Goyusha back.
What?
Yeah, you can send 4 others.
I don't want so many more games with Daikai. You have no idea.
Yeah.
That's smash viciously.
That means you're losing 2 columns.
Oh, fuck. You ain't guarding me.
More notable rares. This one for Spike Brothers is Machine Gun Gloria. She's a grade 1 7K.
Powerful.
She is actually pretty skill intensive just because it uses resources that Spike Brothers otherwise wouldn't want to use, but I'm still trying to learn it because I can see how it's strong. It's finally a way for Spike Brothers to kind of get a little bit of card advantage. Her effect is that whenever she boosts, at the end of any battle that she boosts a rear guard, you can counterblast 1, and whatever she boosts, you can put to the bottom of your deck and draw a card. It's actually pretty strong because usually, like after Break Ride, with like a big thing,
Yeah.
they're gonna go to the bottom anyway. So this way, you can just like get a card off of them for a counterblast 1.
Isn't that powerful?
I just wish Spike Brothers had more reliable ways to counterblast during their turn, other than like the crit trigger.
Yeah.
Like if they had a Lemonade clone, that'd be real nice, but they don't.
I'm gonna just like talk about everywhere and stuff.
Sadness. Then after that, we go on to the commons. There's no real big commons in this set to really talk about.
Musketeers, they get a soul last 2 and flip them.
Yes, I do, and it's not clan restricted.
Yeah, that is a big one.
That's it though.
Spike Brothers finally get another draw trigger. Musketeers finally get their sub-clan draw trigger.
It's adorable.
Other than that, there's a lot of broken Dimensional Police.
Huge trigger.
There's a lot of broken Dimensional Police commons like Russell Blizzard and their stand trigger,
Russell Blues is pretty stupid.
which gives 2 units on your Vanguard circle, like plus 3 or 4,000.
They also have a 5K Soul Blast 1, get 1 unit. When it's placed in rear guard, it's a 5K grade 1. Soul
Yeah.
Blast 1, get 1 unit 5K.
And also, like,
That's like every clan.
And also, almost every clan, I believe, got a extra Legion, which is a 10K that Legions with a 10K vanilla. That
Brawlers and
all-
Seekers got theirs in their trial deck.
Yeah, their only effects is that when they're in Legion, whenever they attack the Vanguard, they're just 27 vanillas, so they just hit as hard as possible.
25.
25.
No, the 27.
Plus
'cause
two.
They don't get plus 2 on Vanguard. They only get plus 2 on rear.
Plus 2 is a rear guard.
Oh. Oh, they're bad. Never mind.
Yeah, that's why they're common.
But yeah, they're still pretty good. Other than that, another thing that Bushiroad's trying out, they seem to be doing a lot of these Soul Blast 2 5K grade 1s. They have a new type now, which is when it's placed on rearguard, you can Soul Blast 2. Choose one of your units until the end of turn, it gains plus 5,000.
Soul
Yeah, that's all. That was Soul Blast 2.
Playing this thing Brawlers right now.
No, Brawlers just happened.
Yeah, I know. Well, drop pick road.
Drop kick wyvern. It's so scary.
Alright, that's all really to note about, I think. Nothing really else in the 70s to really make mention of.
Holy shit, this is a Soul Blast one.
Oh, it's fine.
Sorry about the delay on videos. We've been.
I guess it stones!
Calm down.
Knuckle Buster hits everything.
Oh my god. We've been preoccupied with a few things.
Yeah,
like-
we've had a lot of things going on.
Yeah, but we're back.
Getting ready for set 14, which
We did.
we did pretty well on our pre-release. A lot of people showed up at the pre-release.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we got as much as we did.
Got 3 Minervas out of it. And 6 Minerva maps.
Because everyone wanted Kagero stuff and no one pulled Dauntless. Nobody pulled Dauntless.
Out of 3 kits, not 1 Dauntless was pulled.
Like everyone was there getting Murakami and Kagero stuff. No one pulled anything.
Yeah.
Even Royal Paladins. No one pulled Ashley.
Go bag.
Hey, I pulled 2 Ashleys.
Okay, well, thank you for watching.
That was no you
while they
pre-ordered
bigger.
two Ashley. You ding dong.
If you want to, see any matches, whatnot, just comment. Again, sorry for being so late, but we're gonna have a whole bunch of videos being put up, doing some today. So thanks.